Hello, my name's Hyam, and this episode is about ditching those rentals you get from a supermarket, and I'm going to tell you why today. All right. Um, just before I start with that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am the proud owner and founder of Lustria. We specialise in cleaning carpets and upholstery. We're in Leeds and surrounding West Yorkshire area, and yeah. Um, so we started operating this year, and we just want to spread across the region and to spread our good work. If you want to as well, if you want to check us out, I have kindly attached our website link below and other social media platforms so you can see our results. So I don't want to delve too much into that. Let's get on to why you clicked on this episode today. Um, the subject matter: rentals, which you typically get at some supermarkets. You probably have maybe a name or two in mind already, but I'm not here to name and shame anything or anybody, because I do understand to why they exist, why that business model is there, and who it suits to. Um, Mainly, from my opinion, that it suits to the people that like to do it themselves, the DIYers. Typically on a Sunday morning, where they feel a bit rotten after a few pints and they think, I need to clean my house up. Totally fine. But obviously, I'm going to tell you the benefits of doing it yourself and the cons, and also whether you use a carpet service like ourselves, Lustry, or anyone else. So we can tell you our take on that. Okay. So let's begin with the supermarket rentals. Don't get me wrong, for a price that you see, it seems pretty reasonable at first glance, because I've had a little look myself before making this video, and I've seen it for a day's rental or two. It's about £32, £35, give or take, and that's just for hiring a machine. So that's pretty much to reserve your place, time and day, saying this machine's mine for 24, 48 hours, however long you may need with it. Okay, and then obviously you go through procedures how I usually book, which is phone call, online, whatever suits you. And so obviously, like most folk, work Monday to Friday, and then when weekend hits, think, all right, I need to get my machine. So you already booked the machine, which will set you back 35 quid, let's say, and then you go down to your local supermarket or whatever vendor supplies it. When you get there, uh, I don't believe there's anyone that actually is there to give it to you. So what typically happens is, if you booked it online, you'll get all the confirmation emails, stuff like that, for a code. So then you can get out of the locker, and then you can carry the big bulky machine, T-car, and whatnot. Usually there are some add-ons as well, which I do like to catch you out with, let's say. But let's say if you need to do two big bedrooms, a bottle of solution might cost you a tenner. So already it's a amount of £45, let's say. And also there's a add-on tool, let's say £6. So you can do all your upholstery, like your sofas, and you can tackle your stairs as well if you want to. So it's, so far, let's say £50. Not bad, not bad at all, is it? To consider that you got the machine, you got the solution, and you got a hand tool, so you can get into those awkward corners and sofas and whatnot. Okay, and but this is where I believe the reality does hit with many people, because people don't realise how heavy they are, how bulky they are, and also, unfortunately, they're not that clean. Because you have to remember, those machines they're reused every time. No one monitors how clean they are on each use, because after the last user has had it before you don't know what they've brought up from their carpets. That can be many things like blood, dog and cat hairs, especially bad if you got people allergic to dogs and cats. You don't want that on your brand new clean carpet, do you? Also, some other dirt and germs that maybe hasn't cleaned away properly. all sorts of problems. Even with parts themselves, you don't know whether that machine's been returned right and it's actually in working condition. Same goes with also getting a machine out of a locker, because there have been times, and I will get onto reviews later on to show what I'm telling you today. It's not me hating them at all. I'm not like that. It's pretty much to just give you an open mind to consider whether it is for you or not. But there have been occasions when people get to the lockers and a padlock passwords have changed, and the supplier that supplies it to you doesn't always update it correctly. So then you go to a supermarket on a Sunday morning when it's probably busy, and you have to stand around looking a bit daft because you can't get to the machine which you have just reserved for, rightly so. So you'll have to contact a call centre, be on there for a while. One of the reviews I read was 4 hours, I believe, top of my head. I will get onto those later on. So I could not imagine anything worse on a Sunday morning, being in my local supermarket, waiting 4 hours to try and get a machine out, which I hired out, but I cannot get it out. That's disaster in itself. So, and eventually, once you do get a machine out, you probably have incurred a parking fine because usually supermarkets, they're private land. So if you park there for quite a while, not realizing, you've easily picked up £100 fine already. Uh, but don't get me wrong, it's a local supermarket, so many decent folk will probably think, you know what, I'll go home and just sort it out that way. But you never know, do you? You just never know your circumstances, so I'm not here to assume that. All right, so let's say finally you got the machine out, you get it home, and you realise, oh, some of the parts are not working, and maybe it's not performing where you want it to, especially on those tougher stains you might have adopted over time. Especially if you got a busy household with pets and people not taking the trainers off on carpets, because that does collect a lot of dirt from the outdoors, and you just be surprised how much it does collect after you do give it a proper clean. So, but usually my take on these machines that they perform better for those who generally look after the carpets pretty well by being really disciplined, by taking the shoes off all the time and keeping on top of the spills, and if you manage to get them away pretty quick yourself, that sort of stuff. If you really are that disciplined of being well maintained, but we all know how life can get a bit busy. Sometimes we do put off certain jobs. I'll admit, I can be guilty of that. So yeah, so it is what it is, isn't it? But we'll get on with it. So from experience as well, not just reading the reviews. So I know someone as well has actually told me this firsthand as well, where he's done the same thing, but this time he didn't have any issues with getting out of the locker. He brought it home, and he thought, let's get on with this, because he's moving house. Sorry, stressful as it is, and he wants to get it all set up. So when they move out, there's no quabbles, there's no hassle with the buyer saying, "Oh, we're going to dispute it because the carpets you told us were good condition, but they're not, and that's going to put us out of pocket." You don't really need those headaches when you've already got enough on your plate, especially moving houses, and especially if you've got kids and all sorts. I don't know where to start with that, because it's so endless, a list of worries. So you definitely don't need this as one of them. And they were saying that he used a machine, it was dirty. Uh, the last people that used it just battered the machine, and it was just wet for ages as well, the carpet, and it couldn't get it to dry. And think about the recent heat waves as well. So if you're experiencing them and your carpet still can't dry after a faulty machine, it just shows a lot, doesn't it? How much your carpets can take, and how much moisture and water it holds. And then after that, especially if you got, as I said, kids and family, you don't want them being in a damp house. It's smelling unpleasant, especially if you've got people coming over, whatever occasion it may be. You just don't need it, do you? You just do not need it. So, but let's say everything goes swimmingly well. You still spent £50. You got it out of a supermarket relatively easy. got it into your car. If hopefully you got like enough decent space, and you don't muck your car as well during that process. Bring it back to your home, and your home's big enough because for sometimes tight spaces it can be a nightmare. You can damage your wallpaper, your walls whilst you're pulling it about as well, and it does take quite a lot of physical graft really to actually work machines and get them working and manoeuvred. So yeah, just don't be underestimated by the task again. But at the same time, for those people that love to do it yourself, go for it. Not an issue. Just I wanted to give you a fair heads up to what I've heard first hand experience and the reviews, which I will get onto. For example, David Plummer. So he put a review last month this year, and he put here: the rental system works really well. It was so simple. However, the experience was spoiled as I received a machine in an absolutely disgusting condition. Not only was it dirty, the brush head was full of either human or pet hair. So already, you kind of get some sort of idea what I'm telling you already. Another one from Chris. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that surname, but you can have a go yourself. Uh, says here, simple enough, simple and easy to collect and return the machine to the local Asda and easy to purchase cleaner. Instructions on the machine were clear apart from how to release a water pipe to swap the handheld device. Instructions on the machine imply it just releases, but it does not. Explanation mark. Once Googled, however, it was not too difficult. Did a good basic clean, but struggle with tougher dirt. Would be perfect for regular keeping on top of a cleaning, but would still use a pro for any particular tougher spots. So yeah, so pretty much to echo what I said earlier. Yeah, as I said, for general jobs, it'll probably be spot on. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, with some dirt, it can be awkward because you do need specific chemicals and that sort of stuff to break it down. But today, with this episode, I'm not going to delve into that world because it's not really that relevant for now. Okay, but I probably will refer to that in a future episode. And there's another one here. This is Sue. This year again. It's all recent reviews. These devices are heavy. Machine did a superb job. The only thing is, I found the device very heavy to maneuver. I have a small house anyway, so it made it difficult to keep aligning it. We'll try and see if I can find a small device that will do an excellent job. Easy to book online and then go and collect. The user before me had not cleaned the device, so their dark carpet left some fluff on the lighter one. Even though I tried to clean the device first, however, would definitely recommend. But while the machine is heavy, the water inside too, even heavier. There's another review as well by Lisa. Obviously, I'm not going to go too mad with these reviews, but I just want to give you a clear picture, really, to what goes on here. Picker was easy, plenty of clear instructions how to collect it from Tesco. Machine was easy to use and did the job, much cheaper than hiring someone to do it for me. If I had one complaint, it would be that the previous person did not clean the machine after use. It was disgusting. So not sure if this can be checked before hiring out to another person. But yeah, we'll go to, let's say, another like a 5-star review. So I'm really happy. So I'm not biased. Uh, never used carpet cleaner before. Never used a carpet cleaner before. Booking online straightforward. Only grumble was machine had not been emptied or cleaned, but it worked and did a good thorough clean of a carpet. So yeah, as I say, they're not. It's not an end all. But so we'll finish off with this one. I don't like to usually finish on a negative, but we'll just do this one for now. So yeah, Katie wouldn't recommend or use again. Unfortunately, the code to unlock the locker didn't work initially, so I had to call to request a new one. They was kind enough to extend the time borrow, which I was appreciative of. However, I wish I never hired in the first place. My cabinets remain stained, and my whole house smells of damp still 4 days later, and I only have carpets upstairs. They used an unbelievable amount of water, shocked at how long the carpet stayed wet, and that was 3rd of June this year. So yeah, that's pretty much like a fair reflection on what they are. These machines. Some people have their own personal issues with it, and like for example, obviously as you saw, they have to Google on how to use a machine properly, and obviously knowing, and they always have to go for the pain of cleaning someone else's mess, which they haven't cleaned the machine after giving it. So it just kind of shows to how much these machines get beaten up and neglected, and also the hassle you have to go through just as well to go through a call center. Fair enough. I think it was Katie. She had a bad experience with um, I obviously with her carpet, where she picked up the carpet cleaner from. Let's scratch that off. That said, those reviews show enough. What I'll do, like, just literally, I'll annotate what we've done so far to summarize, and I'll show you next is how at Lustria we can avoid all this back-breaking work of just lifting a machine in and out from a supermarket, the headache of finding your locker, hoping that you got the correct passcode to enter it, because that sounds of it, no one's there. It all relies on the call centres, because obviously the company, I imagine, will have to think about their profit margins and not having the luxury of having someone at the supermarket to walk them through it. And you have to make sure you collect the correct solution and make sure that solution does work. There is a lot of solutions in the market where it's just for general purpose foot traffic, and that will not break into like most stains or residues, such as like food spills, sick, blood, coffee, wine stains, stuff like that, because they all require their own unique chemicals due to the way it breaks down. Especially if you got, unfortunately, with some pets, urine on the carpets, it does happen, and because you could think that you're cleaning the carpet pretty well by using one of these machines. However, you think it's gone because obviously you can't see it anymore. However, the smell's still there, and that's not something you can get rid of by simply just using this machine. You'll need some specialist products to eliminate that odour, and it's not a pleasant one, and it's not something that you want to live with, especially if you've done a really good effort cleaning the carpet, but the odour's still there. Yeah. Okay. Now we spoke about the rental machines and there's negatives, positives, as I would say with them. So I'm not being totally biased. Now we'll speak about what we do at Lustria. Okay. So we already got the machines, so you don't have to worry about picking anything up, hiring anything, a locker situation, hoping that our machines are working, because obviously we keep on top of that. And the machines, I can say that what we use is better than the supermarket ones because we can tackle those tough stains very easily. Okay, it's just subject to how long that stain's been there, type of carpet, fabric, but I don't want to go into that too much today because that'll be a different subject matter, which I can discuss at a later time. But yeah, pretty much, I am very confident the machine that I use is commercial grade, and it just does a fantastic job. It just does what I need it to do, without hesitation. Also, I can choose size measurements of chemicals that's needed for your carpet, so I'm not shampooing it, putting too much on it unnecessarily. And obviously, I can tell how much you'll need for the carpet, the fabric, the stains, heavy foot traffic, that sort of thing. So I am not over treating the carpet, and it can be respected. I don't ruin it. Obviously, the temperature as well. It's all managed by me on the machine, so I know that when I use it, the colours are going to run on the carpets or the upholstery, and also I know the chemicals. Because, for example, the chemicals that's used for general purpose on the floor carpet might not be beneficial to your type of sofa as well, because it's just totally different fabrics, and you just don't know whether like your sofa will come out worse or not. I highly doubt it, because I imagine that if a company is confident enough to sell it as it is, I'm sure it's not going to be contain those chemical properties that will probably damage the sofa. But from industry, at least we know what chemicals are going into what places and what is needed for it, especially the tougher spots. Like one of the reviews said that it struggled with, and also the stains like coffee, wine, the odours, urine, that sort of stuff. We can treat it properly with our dedicated chemical selections that we can use for every single job. So that way we can provide the best service to each property and deliver what we need to deliver. So at least that way you get some peace of mind. Also, to get our services, there's a few options. You can WhatsApp us, call us, email, or the easy solution. So we're very transparent with you, because at Lustria we don't wait for you to call us, tell us what you need doing, and then we'll tell you a number top of our head, because some people do, and then they turn up and they realise, actually, you know what, I probably can charge a bit extra here. Like, we're not into that business at all. With us, what you see is what you get, and especially the price, because we have got a dedicated tool online where you can go onto the quote tool. It'll take you less than 2 minutes, honestly. You select what you need doing. Is like the carpet, is upholstery, is it end of a tenancy, because you can pick up some better deals that way as well, because then we don't have to worry about moving sofas and that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's loads of stuff on there. And with that tool as well, we do try to give some freebies in there as well with what you select. So, and at the end, after you've done all the selection of what you need doing, it'll tell you your quote, and that quote will stick to it. Absolutely. Obviously, it is really material factor change. For example, you pay for a 2 bedroom clean, but actually there's 4 bedrooms. You want all four of us doing, obviously. The code will have to change, but I'm sure we can arrange to sort that out on the day, of course. But obviously, to save any mishaps, just literally, it'll generate you a quote. It'll have a unique reference number to your quote, and that way, if you do want to have a discussion about it and that sort of stuff before you pay, feel free. All our details is on the website, and yeah, we can just have a quick chat, and we can go through whatever questions you may have, and you can even refer to your quote reference number, and know straight away, without even you trying to remember what you got, I know straight away to what bedrooms you want in, or hallways, whatever it is, the sofas and whatever. And so that way you don't have to try to remember everything and then think, oh, I forgot this, because we already got it on there from what you selected. You can always add more, it's not an issue, or take away, not an issue at all. So just yeah, we'll definitely work with you where we can, and yeah, just goes both ways. It's simple as that. And yeah, so we'll do that. You already got your price, you know what you're getting, and you're one of us on our blue tops. Come to your door, and yeah, we'll go from there, and we'll just clean whatever you want cleaning, and we'll try our very best with what stains we encounter. We cannot promise that it'll be 100% clean, because like, we do deliver really good results. However, we're just not miracle workers for some stains. Sometimes that is just the case, because sometimes with certain stains we can over scrub it, overwork it, and it could damage the sofa or the carpets. But most of the time, we tend to get them out, so it's not really an issue that I've had in the past too much, if I'm being honest. So we are pretty confident on that, and we just want to be transparent, because we don't want to overpromise on something and not deliver, because you'll be disappointed and we've underdelivered. So we don't want to. We're not in that trade. But yeah, so we just want to be as transparent with you as possible, and yeah, and the benefit with us right now as well, if you book online using our quote tool, even calling us, we'll get you locked into the Super Summer Sale. Pretty much what that means, because we are relatively new to the industry, it's not an issue. Well, because you'll be one of our, like, what we like to think of customers at the beginning of our journey. We want to take you through our journey as we grow as a company, as a brand, and maintain that trust throughout the whole duration. We'll lock you in for a price for your lifetime, so it'll be all inflation, all that sort of stuff. So that way we can keep delivering results to you, and obviously keep your pockets happy as well. All right. Obviously, with that, you just have to make sure you use us every so often, and that's it. Yeah, we'll just happily maintain that price tag, and we'll respect it. So yeah. So as I say, if you want to find out how much we can do your carpets, there's no need to contact me at all. Just go onto our website and find out for yourself. Okay. And obviously, there are some added benefits as well, because typically speaking, I should have mentioned this earlier, really, but with many carpets, they obviously get wet and they need time to dry. We have got specialist tools that can speed up the wicking process and get those carpets drier within a couple of hours rather than waiting a day if needs be. But obviously, it's your choice whether or not you are um, needing that service straight away. But obviously, we can sometimes add that on as a freebie wherever we can. Just depends on what the quote tool gives you. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything from today. Obviously, so we spoke about rentals, the benefits of them, but what people struggle with, and the cons, and whether you are willing to go through that journey and that pain of getting the rental. A bit of risk involved, but it just depends on how you live or how you are. Not an issue at all. And then compared to what Lustry does and how we can take away all that risk pressure, yeah. And also, if we do come and you're not happy with the quality of a clean, just tell us within 48 hours. Not a hassle. Just call us, because that'll be the best way. So at least that way we know there is an issue if it may arise. I haven't had one really. So, and yeah, we can just sort it out. We've got a 48-hour re-clean guarantee. It's all on our website, pretty much, meaning that if there's any stains that we're told we better get out, but we haven't got out, or the quality of the clean is pretty poor, just let us know. We'll come out absolutely free and sort it out. So yeah, just please do refer to our website for further information on this. That way, um, I'll be as transparent with you as possible. Okay. And just to summarise what we've been over, so we spoke about what, in my opinion, why you should quit a rental, because obviously it does benefit very few people, in my opinion, to what it does say on the tin. And also, to summarise it, there is many issues that can arise from them pretty comfortably and very consistently. You can check it out yourself online and to make sure that I'm not fibbing, because I have no reason to. It's not in my nature. And you can find out like what pains people go through and whether you really want to go through that back aching work just to get those carpets cleaned and carry it from the supermarket in your car, move it about, risk damaging your walls and wallpaper, that sort of stuff, because they are big, bulky machines and they can get in the way sometimes. And also, the chance that they may not dry up to where you expect it to, and your house is damp for days and days, and the smell will go away, and then you have to probably hire a professional just to clean it up properly as well. And then, yeah, we've already discussed all like all the negatives pretty much, especially with a locker situation and cleaning a machine out before it even gets onto your floor at home. I mean, like when I go, and obviously the positives of it, it's relatively cheap, between 50 to £70. But really, that value to all those negatives, yeah, I just don't. I'm not sure if it is worth it or not. Well, I do, but I'm not here to tell you how to feel. But and then I spoke about Lustria. Obviously, we've got our own commercial grade kit, all the right chemicals, all the machines to get it all dried up again properly in decent time. Pre-treat carpet, everything that needs to go in the processes. I don't want to go into too much detail. Not really that relevant for today's discussion, and because obviously we are here to discuss the rentals that you get from supermarkets, and yeah, just if you want to, yeah, if you want to book us, absolutely fine, go for it. There is a few ways to do it. You can either uh, phone us, text us, or I'll receive it. I'll typically will respond to you within a working day. That's on Google if you want to find that out, or our website. Also, there's WhatsApp feature, another handy way to contact me. Obviously, we got our social media pages at Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube. If you want to make a comment that you are interested, I'll reach out to you. Probably not the best way for being honest on YouTube, but it's always an option if you need it. Also, my biggest recommendation, so at least you know what price you're getting. Right, even if you speak to me, it's not an issue if you choose that. Again, it's nothing personal, but go on my website. End of the day, there's a dedicated tool that is transparent, consistent, and fair to give you a better price that we offer, and some freebies as well where we can. And with that, I have attached a link below. Just go on it, find out, have a little nosy, because I can guarantee almost, nothing's always a guarantee in life, is it? But that no one else does this in this business, that you can find a generated online quote and someone will stick by it, because most of the time you'll have to call up, take pictures of what needs to be done, trying to explain your way through through a phone call conversation with probably some questions you probably might not be able to answer. It's not an issue. Going through all that headache of fighting for a fair price, well, we're not into that. Just go onto our website and you'll find a dedicated quote tool, and literally you select what you want: carpets, upholstery, whatever you may need. It's all there. And then by the time you get to the final bit of your quote, it takes under 2 minutes to generate lists without even take any photos, contacting Lustria, nothing like that. Literally just all online under 2 minutes. I could not express how easy it is. And you go on there and you'll find your unique quote to your situation, with some freebies as well. And most most of the time they are freebies in there, but what we try to be fair where we can. All right, because we want to look after you. And yeah, and then you'll get your quote and your quote reference number, and that way it'll give you a fair, transparent price. If you don't like it, it's fine. You're not under any obligation to proceed with it. We don't tie you down to anything. We don't obviously give you any spam or anything like that after you get your quote. We're not into that. We just want to make sure that we are fair with you, and you get a really fair price for quality service. And yeah, I could not really put that any simpler to you. Okay. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to obviously continue this journey with us, please like and subscribe. It's not an issue if you don't want to. And I hope you had a really good time listening to this episode. And hopefully not too tired of my voice. All right. Obviously, as I say, the links are down below. So yeah, if you want to proceed, go for it. And but if you want to do it yourself, no drama. I just wish you all the best with it. But obviously, if it does go wrong, uh, obviously you know where we are. So feel free to reach out. I won't judge you. Okay. All right. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.